Although I cannot see your face as you flip these poems a while, somewhere from some far off place I hear you laughing and I smile. Hi friends. Well, as you know, Miss Michelle's book collection that is catered more to your age group that you guys love to hear is all in Miss Corley's classroom. So I really don't have that many books that I have access to read to you in a video. So instead, I pulled all of my Shel Silverstein poem books. I've got 4 of them. He wrote 4 big poetry anthologies. And I know we haven't read that many poems this year, but I thought this would be a fun opportunity to read to you some of my favorite poems from his 4 books. In this video, I'm going to be reading from 2 different books. First one will be his book, Everything on It. And then the other book to follow that up will be A Light in the Attic. And the reason why this book looks a little yellowish is because this was Miss Michelle's book when she was a very little girl. So they've been well used, well read, well taken care of. So let's go ahead and get started with a couple of poems from Everything on It. This one's called Stubbornness. There was a funky donkey and a spunky monkey. They were sitting by the railroad track. Said the funky donkey to the spunky monkey, I'm going off to somewhere and I won't be back. Said the spunky monkey to the funky donkey, if you wait for a minute or two, I'll go say goodbye to the frivolous fly and I'll come along with you. Said the spunky monkey to the funky donkey, this road looks long and wide. So if you'll just pick me up and carry me a while, I'm sure be much obliged. Said the funky donkey to the spunky monkey, I was going to ask the same of you. So we'd better just wait till we get it straight as to who's going to carry who. Now the funky donkey, he ain't going nowhere, lest someone carries him. And the spunky monkey won't carry no donkey, so their future's looking dim. And they're still sitting back by that railroad track. They'll be there till the moon turns blue, but they ain't gonna ride because they just can't decide as to who's gonna carry who. And the next one is a bit of a tribute to Miss Corley because I'm sure you guys remember how much she loves her spaghetti. So let's read a silly spaghetti poem, okay? 28 uses for spaghetti. Spaghetti has so many uses. It can be used for whips or fuses. It makes great backstraps for papooses or leashes when you're walking gooses. It makes a perfect slingshot sling. It makes a great cat's cradle string. A jumping rope, a scooter tie, a bouncy acrobatic wire, a boxing ring where you can spar, 6 twangy strings for your guitar. And though it's droopy, warm, and wet, it makes a lovely tennis net. And as suspenders, it's just fine for holding pants up. Yours, not mine. A string to fly your red balloon, a phone cord for your telephone, hair ribbons, neckties, or bootlaces, reindeer reins for reindeer races, a wig to fit a silly queen, a mushy beard for Halloween. And it can make a neat lasso. In fact, there's nothing it can't do. Oh, and you can eat it too. So those were a couple of poems from Everything on It. Now we move over to A Light in the Attic. Miss Michelle is reading the words to the poems from behind the book so you guys can see the pictures the whole time. Okay, I've got 4 in this one. Alrighty, let's start with Rock and Roll Band. If we were a rock and roll band, we'd travel all over the land. We'd play and we'd sing and we'd wear spangly things if we were a rock and roll band. If we were a rock and roll band and we were up there on the stand, the people would hear us and love us and cheer us. Hooray for that rock and roll band. If we're a rock and roll band, then we would have a million fans. We'd giggle and laugh and sign autographs if we were a rock and roll band. If we were a rock and roll band, the people would all kiss our hands. We'd be millionaires and have extra long hair if we were in a rock and roll band. But we ain't no rock and roll band. We're just 7 kids in the sand with homemade guitars and pails and jars and drums of potato chip cans. Just 7 kids in the sand, talking and waving our hands and dreaming and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be grand if we were a rock and roll band? The next poem is called, get to it here. These little flags make things a little tricky. Bear in there. There's a polar bear in our frigid air. He likes it 'cause it's cool in there, with his seat in the meat and his face in the fish and his big hairy paws in the buttery dish. He's nibbling the noodles, he's munching the rice, he's slurping the soda, he's licking the ice. He lets out a roar if you open the door, and it gives me a scare to know he's in there, that polar bear in our frigidy dare. Okay, the next one is called 8 Balloons. 8 balloons no one was buying, all broke loose one afternoon. 8 balloons with strings a-flying, free to do what they wanted to. One flew up to touch the sun, pop! One thought highways might be fun, pop! One took a nap in a cactus pile, pop! One stayed to play with a careless child, pop! One tried to taste some bacon frying, pop! One fell in love with a porcupine, pop! One looked close in a crocodile's mouth, pop! One sat round till his air ran out, whoosh! 8 balloons no one was buying. They broke loose and away they flew, free to float and free to fly, and free to pop where they wanted to. And the last poem that I'm going to read from this book, it's got kind of a silly name. It's called The Me Who with an Exactly What. Knock, knock. Who's there? Me. Me who? That's right. What's right? Me who? That's what I want to know. What's what you want to know? Me who? Yes, exactly. Exactly what? Yes, I have an exactly what on a chain. Exactly what on a chain? Yes. Yes, what? No, exactly what? That's what I want to know. I told you. Exactly what? Exactly what? Yes. Yes, who? Yes, it's with me. What's with you? Exactly what? That's what's with me. Me who? Yes. Go away. Knock, knock. All right, and I have a couple more of his poetry books that I'll read to you in a different video. Get you guys later. Hope you like those.